Shalom, shalom, giving our praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yehoshua Hashem, Harakah Kodash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutes to all the 144,000 elect men. Alright, coming back at you with another lesson. It's kind of going to be a trial and error as far as just testing out this new screen recorder, and maybe some variations I'll do along the way as far as with using mics and testing out how it's going to sound. See if I can if there's any distortions, but I'm gonna do the video, and once I've uploaded it, see how it comes out, and if I need to make any necessary adjustments, I'm going to do that. So let's just start with this precept. It's going to be one little quick one, but looking into certain words as well. We're at that time now. Let's read it. Romans chapter 13:11 says, "And that knowing the time that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed." Right, man. Yeah. So this is hopeful for us. This is good for us. This is good news for us. This is prophecies. The kingdom is on the horizon, and we're we endure to the end. Reading on in 12, it says, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armour of the Lord," the armour of light. So a couple of words here, and we're just going to check out what's the principle: be subject to the governments. And yeah, man, there's melees all around, protests. The recent one this weekend with the Palestinians, and you had the far rights. There was a clash that took place, which I always predict through the power and spirit of the Lord. I predicted right, because prophecies has to they have to be rolled out. They have to play out. Matthew, the Gospels, nations rising up against nations, wars, rumors of wars. This is what it is. This is the prophecies all being played out in this time of near, the near of the end of this kingdom and the beginning of Jacob's, our kingdom, man. So, we're going to get into some of these words here. Yeah, man. So I wanted to look at this word here, man. Knowing that the time, Romans 13:11, knowing that the time is now, it is high time to awake out of sleep, for our salvation is nearer than when we believed. Yeah, man, the word here. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Right, I want to just check something. Out here. Like I say, this is trial and error, and if I'm pleased with the way, no, there's never a perfect video, but if I'm somewhat pleased, with this screen recording, like I say, it's trial and error, and I'm learning. One of the elders apostles, give me a little idea, and the light bulb went off, as I'm used to just doing my videos on my phone the old-fashioned way. This is new to me. Technology is new to me, but you know what? I'm gonna keep on trying until the Most High loves a trier, so I'm gonna keep on trying and making improvements along the way. Now, the translation. Let's get into some of the translations here. The precept Romans chapters 13 and 12 says, in the NKJV, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Therefore, let us cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light." Now, the NLT, "The night is almost gone. The day of salvation will soon be here. So remove your darkness, your dark deeds, like dirty clothes." This is a good one. You can relate to that. Brothers that in the corporate world, or if you work in the the trade world, dealing with cars, mechanics, carpentry, you know, the car wash, all them kind of thing there. You can relate to this, you know. Take off the darkness of this world, the dirty clothes when you come home from work. Remove the dark deeds like dirty clothes and put on the shining armor of the right living. Yeah, the far right. That I was talking about the melee. You know, they call them peaceful protests. They never, for the most part, they turn out bad anyway. These so-called peaceful protests. They usually go left or right, or they usually go wrong. And there was when I was watching one of the far right news channels, you know, some of these Pierce Morgan and all these kind of debates. I was watching the news channel, and they said it was a peaceful protest, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a call-in. It's a call-in station that comes. That's a channel that I watch where there's call-ins, you know, far right people, and you hear all these different type of opinions, and they're worried about they're losing their country. I done a video, the last video I did on the peaceful day. What do they call that day? Let me just check it up on my thing in front of me here. Yeah, the Remembrance Day and the days of poppies and the days of you know, when these people call in, they talk about we're losing our country, and all, you know, they're very fearful about this so-called the great monarchy, the great British monarchy. They're very worried when you hear the people, their opinions when they call into this radio station. And there was 9 police officers that got injured. Some things you may not hear on mainstream news, and about 120 arrests. And people say it was a peaceful protest. Some people were saying it was a peaceful protest. But why don't you ask the police officers, one who got his elbow injured? They said ask the police officer, one of them who got his elbow injured, one of them who dislocated his hip. Why don't you ask them if it was a peaceful protest? And you got all these, you got the, you know, the people from the east phoning in, people from this country phoning in, and people have opinions, we know, and it's just fulfilling of prophecy. Nation running up against nation, and this country is so proud. Where we live, over in the mother of Babylon, the people are so proud, and they're worried about the slightest little thing, which is not a slight thing to them. Why ain't people proud of wearing their poppies anymore? And don't interrupt our 2 minutes of silence for the Remembrance Day. If they interrupt that, and you had these, what's his name? Ronnie, is it Ronnie or Tommy? Let me check it out while I'm doing this. Let me check up some of these names here, because you've got there's all these different groups here. Like I say, this is a trial and error video, and I'm just testing out my screen record on my laptop, but I've also got my other computer, and I'm going to test that. You know, if I get to it, I'm going to test out a screen recording on this one as well, and eventually I may make a transition from the old-fashioned way of doing things to the screen recordings, and improving on the mics as well. You know, getting better sound and just getting better equipment, all in all. So I was just checking out this guy here, Tommy Robinson, the activist, and they said they arrested all of them, about 100 plus of them was arrested, because they went there, and if you just see it on the news, you can see people in their Union Jacks, They was taunting the police and saying you're no longer British. You know, they came to take a stand. Tommy Robinson, the activist, right? He says the British far right anti-Islam activists, right? That's him. If I do another video, I might do, but I've always been interested in some of these because things were much worse. You know, these so-called activists, things were much worse in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and even up into the 80s. And I used to see these type of people where I was brought up in the East End. You used to see them all the time. So I'll say no more. But so they're worried about losing their country and their rights, and all these foreigners coming over here and stealing our jobs. And you know, every time you go in the corner shops, you got these people. You got to deal with them. That's their attitude. That's how they feel. So which really the whole world. The scripture that comes to mind now is 2nd Ezra and 6. The latter verses. The whole world was made for our sakes. If you want to get technical about it, you know, the so-called black people, the whole world was made for our sakes. The Yashua Allah, the princes of the power, technically, but you got these proud people talking about, you know what I mean? You know the guys I'm talking about, the people that love to go football back and forwards, the football hooligans, and they're looking for they go there for trouble, and they're worried about losing their country. So Tommy Robinson, the activist, is a famous or infamous person as far as the far right people. And I watch some of those channels, those news channels where people phone in and you get a sense of people, how they're feeling like they're losing their country when you hear their points of views. Now let's get back to this. I was reading the NIV, Romans chapters 13. Let's get back to this and we will end off the video. Abu Razar, who is edifying. 13 and 12 says, and NIV says, the night is nearly over, the day is almost here. Yeah, prophecies. Yeah, we're at the end of this kingdom. Jacob is the beginning. Esau is the end of this kingdom, and Jacob is the beginning after that followeth. The end is almost here. So let us put outside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. Now that's an interesting one there. Armor. You know, the things that come to mind when I when I reflect on the word here, armor. Let's get back. The word armor. Let's look at that. And see what he says. First of all, where is it? Let's find out the word armor. So it's G3696. Armor. This is all a trial run. I'll be right, so it comes out all right.
Strong's G3696. Hopline.
That's how it's pronounced in the Hebrew. So any tool or implement for preparing a thing armed, used in warfare, weapons, an instrument. That's what came to my mind. Warfare, because that's all the other nations for the most part used to wear armor. And in the case of David, when he went to deal with Goliath, and he was trying to suit him up and boot him up with armor. I said, me no need that. Me no want. I don't know if he said that. He said it like that, but he didn't need it. He said, let him come to me with his sword, his shield and spear, but I'm coming to him. David said, I'm coming to Goliath in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and he dealt with him with that slingshot, straight in the middle of the head, knock him out. No, he didn't knock him out. He deleted him. He deleted him, point blank period. So armor, man, so we got the armor. We don't have to get too deep into that, but we got the armor. Our armor is what? The same way like King David had the name of the Lord, the same way we had the names. These both names, Yahweh and Yahushua. That's the armor, which is the light. That gives us the light. Oh, let me go back. Let me take my time a bit and see. Just getting a feel of this. I'm trying to get a feel of using different things, as far as technology, and I'm trying to just get used to it, So the tool of the implement for preparing a thing, arm used in warfare, weapons, an instrument. So the Strong's definition, probably from a primary, about an implement or utensil, a tool, literally or figuratively, especially offensive for war, armor, instrument, weapon. So That's what I wanted. That's all I really want in this video for now. That word. Looked at the word there. Armor. Oh, all right. Let's look. There's two other words. There's light and there's darkness. So darkness, and we kind of know what it is, but like I say, I want to test that and just see certain different kind of things. G4655. Darkness. And the whole world is in the hand of the wicked one. Romans 9:24. So that's why there's pure darkness in the world. And we got this holy, their unholy day coming up, which is going to be even more dark.
Strong's G4655. Scottus. Scottus.
They're Christ Mass. They're called what they call Christmas. They're Christ Mass. But which is a dark holy day where all heap of things just go pear shape, even more so this type of year. So we don't take part in this darkness, in this dark world. Darkness, or darkness in the spiritual sense we're talking about here, of darkened eyesight, of blindness. Yeah, the people are all the pure zombies we're dealing with. Walking around zombies, dark, dark in the spirit, dark without light, without hope, ultimately without truth. Darkness without truth, without light. There's no light at the end of the tunnel for the wicked, man. Yeah, but for the righteous, the light is getting brighter and brighter. I might do another video on that. So yeah, ignorance. Let me just read it. Of ignorance, not respecting divine things. Really, that's what it is. Not respecting divine things. That's the spiritual darkness. Human duties and the unoccupying ungodliness, immorality. The morals of this world is dark, black, and there is such thing as black people, and they're the ones that are dealing with blackness, wickedness, darkness. And you got black of our own people, which we're not talking about the black people, what they say, in the sense of their morals and their ways of living. And you've got a lot of white people, so-called white people, which they're actually black too. They're black. I've done my own little test way of looking at it, and I've decided, and I've come to an understanding that a lot of these so-called white people that they name themselves white, was it the 18th century? Something in the 18th century, 61, something to that effect. The elder, something like that, he says. It was that word white was given to these so-called white people in the 18th century, 61, 18th century, something like that. He says, I'll have to double check that. But something around then, they got that name. They named themselves white people, which they're really black. And I've done my own little test that I've done, and I've done a video about it, how they are black. Their ways are black. Alright? Together with their consequence, misery, hell. Person in whom darkness becomes visibly and holds on. That's it, man. Yeah, the UV light. When you put the UV light on them so-called lily white people, you can really see they show up black. It all shows up black because they are black people. They're the real black people. Right? Enough said. So figuratively, darkness. That's all I want on that. Another word. Another word that comes up that's I want to look at is, so we're putting off the darkness and we're doing what? Putting on the light. G5, 4, 5, and 7. Yeah, and we got our own people too that You know, they're black, they're so-called black people, but then you got Israelite foreigners that are of our people too. And if you're in this truth and you're an Israelite foreigner and you're so-called white, you ain't black. You ain't black. You are a child of light. If you're an Israelite foreigner with a so-called white complexion, you are still of the light. Right? So we just want to be clear on that. You got black people of other nations, right? You got Israelite foreigners that look like so-called white people that are really children of light. They ain't black. And you got black people that are if you're in this truth, you're a child of light. Let me just say it like that. That's all I got to say. If you're in this truth, whatever nation you come from, whatever tribe you are, whatever color you are, if you're in this truth, you're a child of light. You're not a child of black, dark. So let me hear this.
Strong's G 5457. Fos. Fos.
Right, so light, yeah. Let me just read. A child of light is this: the light emitted by a lamp. That's a child of light, but we're talking in the spirit as well. The heavenly light such as surrounds angels when they appear on earth, and also the children of light on the earth. You emit ray, you may not see it. We emit rays of light, we may not see it, but other people see it. And also the word that comes out of our mind, out of the word of the banner, the scriptures, the sword that emits light. The word of truth emits light, right? Emitting light, star. And we're the true stars as well, in a spiritual way. Fire because it is light and sheds light. And the scriptures, the gospels say, we are lights of the world. You are a light of the world, and we shine bright. And we give light to other people. For the ones that see the light, they come into the light, and they also start becoming light, emitting light, because they've entered into the light. Words of what Yehoshua said when he was on the earth. He said words like that, words to that effect. He said, those that are of children of light, they enter into the light, and they also become, they are light. God is the light because light is extremely, God is light because light has the extremely delicate, subtle, pure, brilliant quality. Now this is giving me an idea to do another, go into this on perhaps in another video on this subject here. It's a good, nice subject here. I like this. Yeah, of truth and it acknowledged together with the spiritual purity associated with it. That's a spirit, man. That which is exposed to the view of all openly, publicly, reason, mind, the power of understanding. I'm going to leave it on that now. The power of understanding, moral and spiritual truth. I couldn't have said it better myself. Moral and spiritual truth. On that note, I want to give our praises to Yahweh Shim Yoshai, the water to Yahweh Shim Yoshai upon the spirit of me to do that video, man. That's really what I wanted to bring out. The word armor. Now, I must go back and read it again. Repetition. Because I looked at a couple of more words than I expected to do. Going back and look at the word armor. A little bit of repetition here, but it's alright, it's okay. Yeah. The implement for preparing a thing, arm used in warfare, weapons and instrument. Yeah, offensive for war, armor, instrument, weapon. So what is that armor? What is that weapon of instrument? It's the light, and ultimately we come into the light, the word of the Lord that emits light and protects us from the darkness of this world. So that's it, man. Romans 13 now, I'm going to end off. Romans 13:11 says, and knowing the time that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Yeah, let them do what they do, man. You know, all these kind of uprisings all around the world, you know, which they always turn, they are dark. And the reason why people are insistent on being a part of it is because they're under darkness. They're in darkness. They're not in the light. We don't take part of that. Yeah, and let us put on the armour of light. Shalom to all the sincere Akim. The Wadati of Hashim Yeshua putting the spirit on me to do this video. And salutes to all the 144,000 elect men and the Afwakim and the Waf Banyam. That's the women and the children that are in order. We on to the next.